Welcome to the SImple Sophisticate podcast, where intelligent living is paired with signature style. I'm your host, Shannon Ables. And whether you're listening on your commute, exercising, working in the garden, or sitting down with a hot cup of tea or a cafe au lait, thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. Welcome to the 69th episode of the SImple Sophisticate. Today we are talking about style. We haven't had a style post since early September, late August, when we talked about blazers, and I felt it was a good time to remind ourselves of some simple, stylish habits that we can all embody to look effortlessly chic every time we get dressed. But before I get to the 15 habits for timeless style, a brief hint as to what today's Petit Plaisir is. The holidays are coming. The house and the scents that we correlate to the holiday season is just around the corner. And I have found a brand that you will not be disappointed with. It'll be a fantastic investment, and it's not nearly as expensive as some of its counterparts. So do stay tuned at the end of the episode, and I'll share what I have discovered. But back to the 15 habits for timeless style in today's episode. Seeing effortless style in person can be quite powerful, and part of the impactful punch is how the person carries themselves in the clothes they wear. In mere minutes, it's evident if the clothes are wearing the person or the person is wearing the clothes. Having the opportunity to have worked and currently work with women who embody a strong yet effortless sense of style, I am continually inspired to put forth the effort, time, and attention to cultivate habits that render an air of calm and certainty. And while I may not wear precisely the same colors or ensembles or sizes that these sartorially talented women select, I am reminded each time I see them and the outfits that they pull together that there are habits that each of us can adhere to that make getting dressed each time an absolute treat and leave us looking effortlessly chic. So let's get started. Number 1 is to reuse classic staples, from the white button-up shirt to a tailored navy blazer. Adhering to your capsule wardrobe for the fall or spring season and mixing and matching these items with abandon is what makes it easy to get dressed in the morning because you know that these items work, but it also leaves you looking timeless. Classic. You've eased your mind and you've assured that you look appropriate for whatever occasion you're dressing for. So the key is to establish or build that capsule wardrobe, which I talk about in numerous posts that I will provide links to on today's show notes. But the key also is investing. The investment is necessary for this consistent peace of mind. And as we know, that takes time. So we really do just have to have patience. But let me say, when you get to that point where primarily your entire capsule wardrobe is what you absolutely desire, it's a treat. It's a peace of mind. It's an absolute pleasure to walk into your closet, pull out any item and know it's going to look wonderful, but also know that you don't have to wear something different every time, which makes the decision-making all the easier. So number 1 is reuse classic staples. And number 2 is to invest in classic outerwear. The dream of owning a camel wool trench often epitomizes timeless style, but to want one and then own one is but a dream for most of us. However, with careful savings, once the purchase is made, a lifetime of style can be yours. Whatever your outerwear of choice may be, a leather jacket, a Burberry trench, invest and remain confident that style, your style, has been captured. So number 2, invest in classic outerwear. And I will say that on today's show notes, I provide an image for each of the 15 habits that I'm talking about. So there's ample style inspiration if you are a very visual person. So feel free to stop by today's show notes, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/69. Number 3 is to add a third piece. I love this one. The basics of putting together an outfit are a top and a bottom, 1-2 pieces, right? But as Who What Wear suggests, adding a third piece every time, such as a blazer or a statement accessory like a hat or a scarf or bold piece of jewelry or a cardigan or a sweater over a button-up shirt or a vest, any of these makes that third piece, and that finishes your look, adds an element of depth because you're layering in a sense, and confidence. And I love this because this is where fashion and decor have so much in common. Threes, odds, never pairs for the most part when it comes to collections or outfits. And I think that's something to keep in mind. And it doesn't have to be something tremendous, but again, a simple scarf when you're wearing a white button-up and a pair of jeans. Now, shoes don't really count as your third piece because you have to wear shoes. We're talking clothing items, so that's something to keep in mind. So number 3 is add a third piece. Get into that habit of always adding a third piece. Number 4 is get it tailored. Whether the inseam of your dark denim jeans needs to be shortened so you can wear it with your flats, or your waist needs to be nipped a smidge, or you need a few darts added to that waist, buy a size that allows these precise changes to be made. After all, when clothing is tailored, it appears as though it was made for your physique, and in a way, it kind of was. So start to wean yourself off of the numbers, the sizes, and choose something that you can work with. So maybe it fits beautifully in the shoulders, but you need to nip the waist in. Or maybe it fits beautifully with regards to your length, but your waist will need to be taken in with a pair of pants. I've done that recently and it works perfectly. And I saved so much money because I found this beautiful cobalt pair of pants from the Outnet, and it was on 80% reduction, but it was like, oh my gosh, I know that waist is going to be really big with that size, but the length will work. I can get it tailored. And I did. I bought it, got it tailored, and I love these pants. It was such a fantastic investment because I didn't break the bank, but I got exactly what I wanted. I just needed to pay a little extra money to the tailor. So number 4 is get it tailored. Number 5, add a belt. Don't be afraid of your waist. I know sometimes it can be daunting, but again, your waist can be in a handful of different places. We'll talk about proportions later in today's episode, but the key is proportions. And when you proportion your body in thirds, as we'll talk about later, it elongates you and it creates a slimming effect. So where you put your belt is just as important as wearing a belt. So choose belts that work with your outfits and your wardrobe, skinny, large, whatever you want or need. And it could be wrapping your trench coat, not in the belt that's provided, but with a statement belt. I was just watching recently How to Get Away with Murder, and the belt worn by Viola Davis around this beautiful wool trench coat obviously did not come with the coat. It was a style decision and it looked fantastic. So it's something to think about. Add a belt. Number 5. Number 6, very straightforward. Always be pressed and primed. Buy a garment steamer. I cannot recommend that more highly. And I have a link to the one I use on today's show notes. Bring out your iron if you need to press a pair of pants, anything that needs a real fine press line. Take your clothes to the dry cleaner that need it and present a polished you every time you go out. So number 6 is pressed and primed. Number 7, keep your maintenance of the handbags up to par. Once you've purchased the best quality handbag that you can afford, tend to it, protect it, and keep it clutter-free. Refrain from setting it on the ground. After all, if you're a superstitious person, it's said to be bad luck, right? So that's one reason to not put it on the ground, but the other is to keep it clean. Also, apply leather conditioner to keep it supple, and when not in use, stuff it with bubble wrap or towels to hold its shape when it's in your closet. So number 7 is handbag maintenance. Number 8 is embrace inspiration from unexpected sources. Street style and fashion blogs, as we know, are abundant. There are so many to choose from, and there are a list of the ones I like to follow on my recommendations page under on the menu. Go to recommendations and click on blogs I follow. Go to the fashion category and you'll see a ton of the blogs that I follow. But it really depends on what you're looking for and the people that speak to your style. What speaks to me may not speak to you. Choose just a few to get started. And I think you'll be amazed at what, if you aren't doing this already, what ideas you come away with that you may not have thought about. And that's part of the reason I always like the fashion weeks, because you see all these fantastic creative ways to pull fashion together. And while I may not go over the top with all the trends that they use, I may see a brand new way to wear a scarf. Recently, I saw a woman wearing a double scarf, 2 different scarves. I'm like, oh, well, I can easily do that. That's creative. And as long as it speaks to my signature, the color, the print I choose, that's a wonderful, fun idea to give a try at least. So find a few blogs, a few places for style inspiration, and check them out every day or maybe every week, whatever your schedule allows or your interest is. Another place for inspiration, as you might imagine, is on the Simply Luxurious Life blog. Every Tuesday morning, Style Inspiration goes live, where you have at least 10 images of inspiration that I have recently found and want to share. So feel free to visit that as well. Every Tuesday morning, the Style Inspiration post. So number 8 is to embrace inspiration from unexpected sources. All right, we have 7 more habits for timeless style to discuss. I'm going to take a quick 1-minute intermission, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome back. We have 7 more habits to get to achieve that timeless style we want each time we get dressed. So let's get right back into it. Number 9 is to avoid blatant matching. Yes, black and navy can be worn together, as Yves Saint Laurent reminds us, or taught us, I should say. And yes, we can pair black and brown. In fact, in number 11 in today's list, I'll get to the idea of wearing one entire color. That is a must that will add elegance to the everyday, but there is no need to match your purse with the shoes. So long as the undertones are similar and the textures complement each other, you are going to exhibit this know-how for style by not having to have matchy-matchy, which is more than anything a crutch. And I'm talking the extreme matchy-matchy here. Obviously, again, those subtle undertones that work well with other colors, that is what we're striving for. That is your goal. And as you start to continually pull the same colors that work well for your complexion, you're going to see that you have all sorts of options to get away from the matchy-matchy and always look timeless. So number 9 is avoid the blatant matching. Number 10 is to dress up denim. I mean, jeans are great. Denim's great for casual wear and a t-shirt, but there's so many ways to dress it up, and it's an easy go-to. Wear with heels. Wear with a polished loafer or a knee-high boot. Denim will always have its place in a timeless wardrobe. Add a blazer or a stunning silk blouse, and denim is immediately taken to new heights. So number 10, dress up denim. Number 11, I love this one. This one, to me, just absolutely exudes uber elegance. It is compile tonal colors. Perhaps the color of choice is gray, or maybe winter white. Having the confidence to wear one color in entirety conveys intention as well as simplicity. The key is to know what you have in your closet and play with a color that complements you. Wearing all red, perhaps, may not be the color you want to select, as it comes off as being the focal point, when rather you, the person, want to be the focal point. The clothes let you shine. Rather, choose a color that is something that will be probably a classic. So we're talking blacks, we're talking grays, navies, whites, subtle colors. It can be like a soft yellow. It can be those other brighter colors, but in a softer manner. But again, you want to make sure you don't choose something that overwhelms you, and only you can know what will work. So number 11 is to compile tonal colors. Number 12 is to tend to the finishing touches. We're not talking clothes here. These are your style habits. We're talking your haircut that will require a little more than a blowout and 1 or 2 products. You're using the cut to give you the simplicity that also will bring you that effortless, chic, coiffed look that you're looking for, whatever that may be. Makeup that's minimal yet refined, and a subtle touch of your signature scent that is not overwhelming. Such finishing touches become a habit that you will often forget about, to be quite honest, because you just rely on them, you depend on them, you know they look great, you continue to get compliments on them, and they'll leave a lasting impression. But that's what's lovely about this. It really truly becomes effortless when you finally narrow in on what works for you. And that's the key, what works for you. Number 12, tend to the finishing touches. Number 13 is to reach for a blazer. When in doubt, a tailored blazer is a dependable go-to choice. Choose charcoal, navy, or black for fall and winter, and taupe, gray, and white for summer. Add a scarf, pair with denim, or over a dress. There is no need for contemplation. You will always be stylish when you choose a blazer. And I'll provide a link to earlier episode of the SImple Sophisticate where we talked all about the many benefits of wearing a blazer. So check out today's show notes for that link. Number 14 is to save up and invest. Yes, this is a habit. This is a habit we all need to get into. While the blog allows me to be aware of sales, discounts, and promos year-round, what I have discovered is that while I have a capsule wardrobe of primarily investment brands, very few have been purchased at full retail price. Have I been able to acquire all of the items that I have desired? No. But by knowing what I need and checking in and shopping around the online shops and little boutiques year round, and then being willing to wait to see if there will be an opportunity to save, I have found so many amazing investment pieces that I've been able to acquire. And I know that we don't all have time to keep our eyes on sales and promos year round, but again, use Trackif. That's a great bookmarklet you can use to pin basically items that you like, but you're waiting for them to drop in price, and then they will email you when they do. Or simply be on those email lists of your favorite websites and shops, because they will email you in advance of sales, so you know you will save money on items that you already know you love and will wear. And even better, since I'm not actually spending year-round, because I may be watching these sales year-round, I'm not shopping every single time I'm online, I'm able to save up and then only make purchases that I will appreciate, and rarely have I ever regretted these. So number 14 is save up and invest. And the last habit is number 15, master proportions. One topic my editor was adamant that I explain in detail in my book, Choosing the Simply Luxurious Life, A Modern Woman's Guide, was the idea of proportions as it pertains to one's outfit. Readers have as well asked for an explanation of what I mean by this, and so I wanted to include it in today's list. The key is to not divide yourself in half with the clothing you wear, as well as understanding your body. So go look at yourself in the mirror. Where is the middle? If you are 5'10", where is that 3-foot mark approximately, or 35 inches to be exact? Never let your clothing, the bottom of your top, the waistline in your pants, or the hem of your skirt or shorts, hit that middle mark. Instead, strive for thirds. So either elongate your legs with high-waisted pants, or pants that have very long hems and you wear them with heels, or tapered legs, and wear with a blouse and a belt that really accentuates the top third. There's so many different ways to do this. Again, it depends on your body type, so that's the key. Know your body type. But 15 is master proportions. As you can see, these are pretty simple habits, but they can make a very impactful statement when we practice them day in and day out. And because they are habits, they're things we eventually get to the point where we're not thinking about them. We're just going into our closet, wearing what we have because we know it's going to work, and walking out with confidence and focusing on what we need to do, not how we look. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you're looking for the show notes, visit the blog, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast69, and be sure to stay tuned for this week's Petit Plaisir as we get ready for the holidays. I'll see you in just a few. This week's Petit Plaisir is a candle from Nest. And I have mentioned them on a This and That previously, but I haven't had one before until now. Now, I am a fan of diptych candles as well, and I've recommended them here on the SImple Sophisticate. They are fantastic, top quality candles, but they can be quite expensive. They can be close to $60 for about a 4-ounce candle. So the small candle you would put on, say, your bedstand beside your bed. Well, the Nest candles are larger. They are 8 ounces for just under $40. And the scent is absolutely magnificent. You will smell this candle, but it will not be overbearing, but it won't be so light that it's just when you stand by it. I have placed a lavender Nest candle on. I have a candelabra of sorts, a single candelabra, so a pedestal candlestick, and I've placed my Nest candle on that, and it's actually in an open room where the living room and dining room are connected, and it's a large space. That space smells absolutely magnificent when I walk in the house, even if at that point I'm walking in the house, so the candle's not lit. But if it's the morning after, the day after, I'm walking in and the candle was lit the night before, oh my goodness. Now, of course, with the holidays coming up, there are all sorts of other scents we want to bring into our homes. And they have a holiday classic candle, which has the scents of pomegranate, mandarin orange, pine, cloves, and cinnamon with a hint of vanilla and amber. And I will provide a link to that candle on today's show notes. But depending on the scent you want, whichever it is, you're going to get a quality candle for a quality price that will not break the bank and also could be a wonderful gift if you know someone who enjoys the scents throughout the home. Again, I always either have a hint of lavender or I have a hint of the ocean breeze in Santal candles from Diptyque, and this one is definitely one I'm going to go back to again and again when I run out, because my living room and my dining room will be better off for it. So if you would like to have a look at these candles, visit the show notes, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com/podcast69. You will not be disappointed. And speaking of holidays, I mentioned in last Friday's newsletter that goes out to subscribers that the Simply Luxurious Life Holiday Gift Guide is returning. Last year we went on a hiatus because the book was launched and that was basically where all my attention was. But we are back. We had one the previous years, 2012, 2013, and you will again receive one on the blog. I will mention it here again when we get closer, but I just want to give you a heads up. Monday, Cyber Monday, November 30th. Check out the Simply Luxurious Life blog for my holiday gift guide. You won't want to miss it. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Petit Plaisir, where each week ideas are shared to make the everyday all the more enjoyable. Tune in at the end of each Monday's podcast where I'll recommend a book, a film, a recipe, or something for the home. Anything that is a simple pleasure to satiate your sophisticated taste. Thank you for tuning in to the SImple Sophisticate podcast, where intelligent living is paired with signature style. For more ideas and inspiration throughout the week, stop by the blog, thesimplyluxuriouslife.com, or pick up the book, Choosing the Simply Luxurious Life, A Modern Woman's Guide. Until next Monday, I'm your host, Shannon Ables. Bonjour!